So in this video, I'm going to tell you why you need to reject your brain in order to build a profitable brand. Because let's face it, your brain is there for one reason and one reason alone, and that is to protect you. It's to keep you alive. And in the process of doing that, when you start to understand that aspect of things, right, you then realize that the things that you are scared of, or the things that intimidate you, or the things that sort of make you feel like you can't do it, is your brain telling you these things or giving you these signs because your brain wants to keep you alive and your brain wants to protect you. And you know what? We need to give credit where credit is due because, had if we don't have our brains, we're not able to get the things that we want to get done, right? But in the approach of building a brand and building a revenue generating brand, you need to be in the process of being able to identify when your brain is playing tricks on you, right? When your brain is looking at something as something that is dangerous or something that will potentially unalive you if you continue on this path. And it is in your best interest to be very much mindful because when you are very mindful of that approach of understanding your brain in those are the moments that will then allow you to gain so much opportunity in this life just on the basis that you decided to reject your brain on that occasion. Because it when it comes back to the idea, I always refer back to the idea of when I went skydiving for the first time, because I talk about this in all my videos as well. I really went through a process of being very fearful of just really giving life a good go in that sense. I was very much in just working a job that I didn't particularly enjoy. I loved the work that I do. I just didn't really enjoy the process of, the 9 to 5 sort of lifestyle, and it really left me burnt out and sort of depressed in that aspect. But when I went skydiving in July 2024, that really opened up my eyes to what really mattered for me. And it really allowed me to establish that, all this time I had the desires and the ambitions to produce content like this and to document my journey and to build and to really give this thing a good go in terms of me being able to build a 7-figure brand within 1000 days. And a lot of the time I realized that, and obviously for good reason, in that is that the brain was protecting me. My brain was protecting me from what it felt was danger. But over time, when I went through the aspects of the skydiving and I literally faced my fear in the idea of jumping out of a plane, that for me, I would argue, rewired my sort of relationship of what I perceive to be something I should be scared of. And don't get me wrong, there's plenty of times I still get in a position where I'm still quite nervous, or feel quite scared to do things at times. However, the difference is the only difference between, I suppose, who I was before and who I was now is that I embrace the fear. I embrace what scares me. I embrace the nerves. And all of this stuff is things that you just get through as you continue to grow and to develop as an individual who is looking to build their brand right in real time and to build a brand that can create more opportunity for you as a revenue generating brand, and being able to focus on what I call your brand authority, which is your personal brand multiplied by your business brand multiplied by your campaign brand. Those elements of things really align because you have taken it upon yourself to build your brand and take it to new heights. But the whole idea of brand building, arguably, is something that is very much scary. I won't lie. You put yourself out there for potential criticism or judgment or whatever the case may be. And that can be very scary for a lot of people. It was very much scary for me. But then I then realized that once I made it a habit of rejecting my brain at times where I was scared about something or nervous to do something. And my brain was giving me all the sort of signs and warnings to say that this isn't good for you. This is going to backfire. You need to protect yourself. Me rejecting my brain in those moments has now always led to amazing opportunity that I would never have been able to achieve or been able to embrace as opportunities had it not been the fact that I intentionally took it upon myself to reject the signs in my body and my brain to say that these things are potentially going to unalive me in the process. So with this video, I just wanted to record this one to let you know that in order for you to build a brand that changes everything for you, whether it comes down to your career, whether it comes down to your finances, whether it comes down to your sort of ambitions and your prospects over time, it is in your best interest to embrace the fear, right? And really make it an effort to just do things that scare you, and make it a thing where you intentionally go about your way to do the things that scare you and that you feel nervous about, because over time it just gets to a point where, because you've sort of overcome that obstacle, anything else that presents itself as something isn't necessarily as scary as the thing that you've done prior. So when you get in the process of that, it's like you're training your brain to realize that yes, it is scary. Yes, it is quite nerve wracking. However, it is not that nerve wracking to the point where it's not worth pursuing, right? And that is the difference between those who build a revenue generating brand off the back of their personal brand and their business brand and the campaign brand, because they were pushing out their content and they were being forthcoming with presenting themselves as a key person of influence and the obvious choice. It only led to opportunity for them to shine, and then they were able to amplify all their efforts because they went above and beyond and they rejected the fear, in comparison to someone who says they want to do certain things. They say they want to produce content on YouTube. They say they want to network with people. They say they want to do corporate workshops or whatever it is. They say they want to do it. But the process of being able to develop that resilience within your brain to reject the brain is not something that they have considered to train a lot, to the point where every time it presents itself as a challenge, the brain always takes over and wins, because they just haven't identified how to overcome that initial fear and that initial thing that is blocking them from achieving those things or being able to overcome those things. And that's why in the process I always say to document your wins, your losses, and your highlights, because throughout that time you will then be able to see all the times where you rejected your brain and it went in your favor. And I guarantee, even if you reject your brain and it didn't go in your favor for a particular thing, the lesson that you learn will then allow you to readjust and become better over time. So that is why I say it's incredibly important for you to be able to build that revenue generating brand, and for you to be able to reject your brain in order to do so at a faster pace. So that's it for me for this video. I hope that you found it useful. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and let me know if you want to see more videos like this. And if you want to see more, make sure that you subscribe. But on that note, as mentioned again, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you tomorrow. Peace out. Look after yourself.